This will be called Lucado 1, Lucado. The reason, of course, I call it that, because when you see the front cover, you have no idea what it is, of course. But once you open it up, here's what you see. Now, if you hear or listen to Max Lucado in the church, and by the way, his churches are non-denominational. They do not take denominational sides. But Lucado is basically a storyteller. And in his sermons, as if he's reading you a story rather than telling a sermon. Because that's his nature. He is so good at that. And he's written several books. And he's lectured all over the place. And his lectures are like that. They're telling stories. So his way of looking at the Bible, it's a storybook. It tells you stories all the time. That's how it works. So, and I have listened to him on YouTube, and I think you should also. You'll notice that. And his stories are also jokes, and people laugh at it, and so on. But what Max Lucado does in his book is not what you see in normal books of the Bible. Now, for example, if you go to the book of what's called Genesis, the first place you get in Genesis is an introduction to the book, which is normal for books. But what Lucado does here, rather than just does an introduction, and then it's like a story. This whole introduction is like a story. And then about this book, the author, the date when it was written, key themes, key people, key verses, and contents. Then, when you get to the book itself, you will see several things in it. Not only the text, which is on this side, as you see the text right here, but on this side, this is Lucado. Everything there is Lucado. It comes from all kinds of things that he has done. For example, in Genesis 1:1 to 2:3, it's called situation. Okay? The next is called observation. And the next is called inspiration. And then there's much after that, of course. And then on the next side, when you come to the other side of Genesis, this is Lucado over here, and it continues, and then application. That is to say, like others that do about, you must apply this to your life. And then another one is called For Your Journey. And that is Lucado. Now, all the way through this you will find that, as well as long lessons that he writes out. For example, on this page, where you're just barely on Genesis, say 2:4 through 23, there's a whole article that he has written on this page about that particular part of the book of Genesis. But also, he has character studies, which are very good. And when you see that, you'll see a little tree down there. Yes. And what this is, it is the story of Adam and Eve. And again, it's a story, not rather a sermon outline. It's like a story. And that's Lucado's greatness in his work, not only in the Bible itself, but on all the things on the side, especially when you come to those things that have to do with people in the Bible. And all the way through, this is what you'll get. But I want to show you more of this later. But this is some idea why the Lucado Bible is somewhat unique in what it does as our other Bibles. This is unique because the Bible for him is a complete story from beginning to end. And the emphasis is on, of course, God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, but more than that, the idea that all these things fit together. So this is why Max Lucado's book is unique. We will continue this later.